Zach Frazier out of West Virginia. Mountain Mama, take me home
to the
NFL drafts. There he is there. Zach Frazier, not to be confused with the main character from the Star show Outlander.
Or Brendan Fraser.
Oh. Did we find out it's not Brendan Fraser? It's something else. Frazier or something like that. Like somebody's been mispronouncing it the whole time and he didn't correct anybody.
He's such a nice guy.
He is. He really is. I feel bad for that guy, the way Hollywood treated that man. Anyway, Zach Frazier, 6'3", 310 pounds, 22 years old. Played 12 games in 22 and 13. Had a 74.5 PFF grade there in 23. Played exclusively at a center there. Excellent run blocker. Got a great grip. Like, this is one of those guys that we talk about. There's guys that have the ability to get away with holding and don't have issues. And there's some guys who just will get called every time for it. This is that guy. Like, you ever had that friend who can, like, say something outlandish and stupid that most people get punched in the face for saying, but they just somehow get away with it and somebody laughs at them?
That's me.
Yeah, like, he's that equivalent of that as an offensive lineman. Like, he just gets away with grabbing people and holding on to them, and just it never seems to be called because he puts everything in the right spot. And if you look at the tape on any NFL game, every single play there's a holding. It's just a matter of them putting their hands in the right spot to avoid getting caught with it. So yeah, he's got that ability. Where he doesn't have is he's a little bit short on the length, and he's a little bit slow in lateral movement there. He's just such a good run blocker. I had to put him right above Van Pran there, but the two of them are kind of neck and neck. I think Frazier's a little bit better. I think he goes in the second round. And he's going to go hopefully specifically to a team. And I'm not suggesting them specifically because they already have Lindenbaum, obviously, at Baltimore. But a team like that runs the ball and respects the run as part of their offensive game plan. You're not going to throw him to a team that's going to just pass, and pass. That would be a waste of his talents. But like I said, you get him in the right spot, he's going to be a productive member of the offensive line for many years to come there.
So you're saying Cincinnati is not his destination? Gotcha.
Listen, Cincinnati has always run the ball.
Yeah, but they also got Joe Burrow and Chase.
Yeah, but they always had a running back to go along with them too as well. In fact, if you look at Cincinnati historically in the last 25, 30 years, they pretty much always had a running back of some kind. As bad as that team has been, not saying they've had excellent ones, but they've had better than average.
Yeah, maybe top 12 in the past 25 years.
No, I'm saying overall, I think they've had, So let's take a look here. So you had Joe Mixon, obviously, since 2017. Yep. You had Jeremy Hill before that. He's been a good guy. You had Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, who actually in his 2 years there had about 1,800 yards. So it's not like nothing, Then you had Cedric Benson, and people forget Cedric Benson, as bad as he was in Chicago, was very good when he went to Cincinnati. He was an 1,100 yard kind of guy at that point there, and he was there 11 to 08. You got 1 year of Kenny Watson, who I don't even know who the hell that Kenny Watson. I remember Kenny Watson, but then you got Rudy Johnson, who had 1,400 yards basically, and then you got Corey Dillon till 97. They've always had a decent running back.
Yeah, so middle of the pack.
Oh. I guess if you got a guy who's getting over 1,000 yards more than half the time in this modern NFL in the last 20, 25 years, you're doing good. That's not middle of the pack. That's not middle of the pack. 1,000-yard rusher in the modern NFL is good.
Okay, but you already said what's the face at 1,800 yards in 2 years, so that's 900 yards. Mixon he goes
yeah,
above and below. So like they probably average 900 yards, 800 yards
his
the
was
past
based on
25
health.
years.
His is based on health usually.
I'm talking about the top player. When you
I'm
average them
saying
out, they're probably 850. I'm a fancy guy. I pay
he's
attention
got
to running backs. Just
he's
saying.
got at least 1,000 yards in 4 of the last 6 seasons. Joe Mixon does.
Yeah, it's fair.
Like I said, I'm not suggesting they have a top flight rushing attack. I'm just saying they're not all passing.
You love the running game.
I like the running game. I always have. I really do. I miss old school football to a certain degree. I love sitting there just seeing like you know what I used to love as a kid, and this is what I missed. You'll probably never see it again in the NFL, though, just the way it is. A guy like Charles Way, just remember they had that one good year in '97, and just bum rush, boom, 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 like right off of people, like it was nothing. Like it was just like a tank running down the middle of the field, kind of like the way Brandon Jacobs ran, who as well after that. You know, it was like I love those big, strong running backs at that point that can do that. And I think you're going to see a renaissance of that coming very soon in the NFL because we keep on getting these smaller and smaller linebackers, safeties. You even see some of the smaller defensive tackles now because you want them to rush the passer now too when they used to just be run stoppers. You get a big bruiser in there. That's why I've been so high on us getting a guy like Brayon Allen in the draft at that point that has that ability because you get a guy that can just bum rush and roll through at that point. He's going to excel because defenses aren't meant for that anymore. Anyway,
yeah, I was about to say when you're talking about
we're getting sidetracked.
I say when you got a running back that's 20 pounds lighter than the defensive lineman, and he's got the momentum on the side.
Yes.
Nah, stop. All right, sorry.
Newton's laws of physics. But yeah, anyway, Zach Frazier, second round, I think is where he'll end up going. Like I said, he'll be a good guy, and I think honestly, he's got to go to a spot that utilizes his run blocking abilities because that's his strong suit there.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.